It's Bobby Pin back up in this thing, producing original content for and from my brand. I am so excited to present some really cool stuff for you guys. I was playing around with the idea of podcasting, and I was trying to come up with a concept that differs from anything else you've had from me. I think the time is ripe for me to start exploring it and playing around with it because I've been very opinionated lately, right? So we're going to kick things off right here with Bye Bobby. Yes, it's double entendre. Bye, because I'm a creator, but also like bye Bobby, like you're dismissing me. Girl, bye. Because I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to push the envelope. I'm going to share the unpopular opinion to some. A lot of you might agree with me. And I am definitely just open to dialogue as we get deeper into this. And I guess the more things bother me, the more topics I'll come up with. And I may slowly become more controversial to you. You'll be all right. I promise. And if you begin to hate me, well, that's on you, because you don't have to always agree with someone to be open to a differing opinion. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Today's topic, Kendrick Lamar, one of my favorite rappers of all times. Definitely wanted to start by sharing that sentiment. This young man is hella talented. I love how he is taking the form, the platform, the medium to really say something. And that's been what has helped him stand apart from the very beginning, right? Like, he's a meaningful rapper. As my program director, Boogie D, likes to call it, he's hip hop and not just hip hop entertainment. And I believe that he should be rewarded for that. And we should be, celebrating his artistry in the way that we typically do when he releases new music. And I too am a fan of the song Humble. Overall, I definitely hear the message, and I think what he's saying is extremely valuable. So I just wanted to preface my sentiments with that. Now, I will say, scrolling Instagram today, I came across a really interesting meme that brought up some opinions from me and opened the dialogue on one of my followers, or followees, I guess, comments. So I wrote a really long comment back, and I felt like, hey, this might be better stated where you can hear my tone. I can gather my thoughts a little more and be more well received, or at least attempt to share my point of view in why this meme is actually valuable in terms, again, of creating dialogue and hopefully creating some level of understanding. So with that said, the picture is a scene from the Migos video for Bad and Boujee, and the implication is that women are really excited when men praise us for all of the enhancements that we do, right? When we feel the need to be extra and put on makeup and straighten our hair. Yes, straighten our natural hair if that's what we choose to do. Slick it back in this instance. The girl is wearing a ponytail. And somehow that's not real enough, I guess, right? Because she got on makeup. Meanwhile, the bottom clip is a clip from Kendrick's latest video where the verse is discussing his desire for lack of Photoshop, lack of fake perfection, and women loving themselves naturally. So there's a woman of ethnic descent. In the video, you see her move from her Photoshop self, which actually looks a lot like the girl in Bad and Boujee, to this beautiful woman who has, there's a one little skin pigmentation on her face, so I'm sure that implies that there's no makeup there. Her hair that was once slicked back and straight is now full and voluminous, and then they show her body for stretch marks or what have you. So again, overall, do I understand the message? Of course I do. I think it's empowering. I understand his attempt at empowering women to be okay with who they are naturally. And I do not argue with that. I do think that that is very important. 5 out of 7 days a week, maybe even 6, I don't wear makeup. I don't fill in my eyebrows. You lucky if you get some edge control. And that's just because I'm late usually. I usually don't have time to do makeup. But that's not me. That's not my personality type. I'm a tomboy. I love wearing snapbacks and sneakers and jeans and a t-shirt and a hoodie. Like, I'm real kind of no frills most of the time. However, like most women, it's fun being a girl, and part of the fun of being a girl is being able to play dress up. That's something that we used to do when we were kids, the same way boys like sports and playing with toy cars, which I like to do as well. But you know what I mean? Like, nobody shames that, oh, you need to put those cars away. No, they encourage that. Hey, you could be a mechanic. So how come girls wanting to play with Barbie dolls is a bad thing, and later growing up to still act out some of those things on herself, as a sense of being and feeling more put together, being and feeling a little more beautiful, being and feeling like a different person. Some days, like, I remember seeing this in college at this event that this Women of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority hosted. I forget exactly what the topic was, but it was probably something like this, something like a body shaming topic. And I remember standing up. The question, I believe, was like, how do you describe your fashion sense? And I literally stood up, and it's based on my mood. I said that 6 years ago, and I'm saying that right now. Fashion, my style is determined by my mood in that day. Some days I feel like being a sex kitten, and I might wear something short or tight or low cut, and I might want to wear makeup, and I might want to put curls in my hair. And then I have days where I want to be a little more moderate, but I still want to be dressy. So I'll tone down the makeup, and I may be a little more covered up, but I'm still fly. And then I have days where I just want to be, and I'm a-okay with that. You will see all my little acne scars and hyperpigmentation, and my brows haven't been plucked in weeks. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm okay with that because it's me, and you're gonna love me for me regardless. So saying all of that to say, I think as well-intended as it is, as beautiful as it is to have the support of men in our corner, I think it's equally as damaging to have men dictating how and why women loving their natural selves makes them better and more deserving of love, affection, acceptance, and appreciation than a woman who chooses to enhance herself. These two statements, these two visuals, the topic is one and the same. It's shaming. All the way around, it is shaming. And that is the problem. A man telling a woman that her decision to wear her beauty enhancements is wrong is just as damaging as the man making a woman feel insecure for loving her natural self, imperfections and all. It implies that a woman who chooses to do what she wants to make herself feel beautiful is somehow less deserving of acceptance and love. Like, that's what we call shaming, one way or the other. For a man to say he will withhold his love for you because you choose to wear makeup or wear hair extensions or to get plastic surgery is just as damaging as the man who's making fun of you for having a TWA, for your little afro, for body shaming you because, yeah, you got them thick thighs, but it also comes with a couple of rolls in your belly. It's all one and the same. It really is, in my personal opinion. It's men dictating to women what they want based on their preferences. Now, nobody whatsoever is saying that it's not okay to have a preference. That is not my point, and I really want to make that extremely clear. It's okay to have a preference. We all do. I prefer men over 6 feet, and the difference is I'm more tolerant, right? If a guy 5'10" approached me and I liked him and he was treating me well, he would get a chance. And I'm not going to shame men who are under 6 feet and tell them that they're not worthy and deserving of love or that they're less of a man. So why is it okay for men to always be telling women what we should and should not do to be women and to be loved? That's conditional love. I don't want that anyway. And I will hope more of my sisters would agree. We don't want that anyway. That ain't love. That's shaming. And shaming is never okay, especially when Kendrick, who I started off this topic saying I love, is just like his opinionated R&B counterpart, Mr. Tyrese. Both of these black men are married to women whose natural hair, quote unquote, doesn't look anything like their own. They went and got these exotic women. Again, am I saying anything is wrong with their decision? No, I could care less who they're married. If they're treating their women right, do your thing, brothers. Beautiful is beautiful, period. But it's not okay to shame the very thing that makes some women feel insecure in the first place. These opinions usually come with stipulations, and those stipulations are the very thing that sometimes women are working overtime to achieve. Yeah, you say you love natural hair, but only if your curls are long and loose like hers. Look, Yeah, you have stretch marks, and that's sexy, but only if your waistline is super tiny before it leads the way to a big old stupid booty. That's not fair, and it's confusing. It's confusing. In my opinion, ultimately, it's no man's place to tell a woman how or why she should love herself anyway, no matter how well intended your sentiments are. Fact of the matter, sometimes people who mean well can cause damage too. It just is what it is. So again, I think it's okay to have a preference because we all do, but it's just as important, if not more, to be tolerant of one's decisions and hopefully maybe even understanding too as to what goes through a woman's mind to make her want to go tanning. Why does this beautiful, light complected woman want to go get a tan? And that's not just white women. Black women get tans too. Right? What is it about this woman whose natural afro is popping, but she keeps it covered up all the time because there are days when it doesn't behave the way she wanted? She put these twists in and wore them overnight for 8 hours and took those twists down and it looks crazy. So she felt like she had no choice but to go get a wig and cover it up at least for the day. What is it about that? Why does that have to happen, right? What is it about or a woman wanting to wear a waist trainer while she works out or just all day long, sweating, dehydrated, lightheaded, uncomfortable? Why do you think that happens? Because we're getting conflicted messages every day from media and every day from men. All we want is men to love us, flaws and all. And when you're dictating to us how and why we deserve to be loved, that's when it becomes damaging. The woman who might need a little patience in accepting herself is now being shamed for deciding to do what she needs to do to step out into the world every day and to get shit done. Let that sink in for a second. Does it really bother you that much? And if it does, how come you can't just love the woman that you consider perfect without comparing and contrasting her to other women? Just something to chew on. Again, I'm not saying that Kendrick's sentiments are wrong, but I'm also saying that neither is Migos. Neither is Ray Shrimmer when they say they don't got no type, right? Like, where those dudes? I want those dudes that don't have a type, right? Like, you're beautiful regardless. Girl, I can look at you with all your naturalness and you are gorgeous. God placed his hand on you. And I can look at you, sister, who's painted to the gods. Your lace front is laid, okay? Your waist is snatched and you're beautiful in God's eyes. Why can't you look at us all differently? That's asking for too much, though. But it's a problem when it becomes a race thing. When it's gender, it's A-okay. Men are supposed to be right, and women are supposed to fall in line. But when we make it a race thing, then it's a problem. Is one and the same, y'all? Don't be a hypocrite. It's your girl, Bobby Penn, checking in here with my very first Bye Bobby podcast. If you like this, please comment below, rate, and subscribe. And let me know some more topics maybe that you want me to talk about. I would love to entertain your opinions, even if they differ. We do not have to agree to have intelligent dialogue. That's how understanding comes about. So feel free to leave your opinions in the comment below. And stay tuned for more passionate discussions with your girl. Take care.